How do I prove my new marriage is real? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Thanks for joining us for today's video. We're going to talk about when people get married and they want to apply for an immigration benefit right away. Now, a lot of people ask me, Jim, what in the world can I send them to demonstrate that my marriage is real? Look, we just got married. So let's back up a minute. Let's say that you are thinking about getting married. And the first question you have to ask yourself is, why are we getting married so quickly? Now, you might have very good reasons. Maybe your spouse is only going to be visiting you in your home country for a little bit. Or maybe you have a visa that's going to end and you'd like to get the process started. Or simply you understand that USCIS takes a really, really long time to process these cases and that the State Department takes even longer. So really, it's nobody's business why you decided to file so quickly, but it is something that they look at. It is one of their fraud indicators. It is something that USCIS and the State Department are certainly concerned about. So if you do get married quickly, you might not have that much evidence. Or if you've even been dating for a while, you might not have much evidence of the marriage itself once you get married, and you want to get that immigration process started because you're a smart person. You watch my videos and you understand how slow these agencies are. So you just want to get the ball rolling. So the thing you need to understand is that USCIS knows that you're not going to have that much evidence at the time that you apply. Now, does that give you an excuse to not do your very best? Hell no. You have to do your very best. You have to get as much evidence as you can. You wouldn't believe how many people tell me, oh, Jim, I could never get this piece of evidence. Oh, Jim, I could never get that piece of evidence. No way, dude. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Say to yourself, I'm going to file with as much evidence as humanly possible. Don't go in with the wrong mindset, which is, how much can I get away with? How little can I send them and still get this case approved? That's the wrong attitude, brother. You need to file the strongest case possible. And the way that you do that is you make it so that the officer understands why the two of you are together. Remember, they're suspicious. They think everybody's lying to them. They think everything that is submitted to them is fake. That's their philosophy. That's their approach. It's not like they're balancing things and trying to give you a fair shot. They're looking for ways to deny your case, or at the very least, they're suspicious as hell of this relationship, especially because you got married so quickly. But you need to understand, you'll have another chance later if you have an interview to submit more evidence, or if you get an online account, you can submit more evidence later. So at the beginning, at the very least, you have to explain, how did we meet? How did we spend time together before we got married? Why did we get married quickly? What evidence is there? Who knows about our relationship? Who saw us as a couple before we got engaged? What time did we spend together after we got engaged? Once we got married, what did we do to start demonstrating a shared life? And that's the most important stuff. Married people begin to share lives together. They begin to share accounts together. They begin to share residences together. They begin to take on liabilities as a couple. Now, of course, it's not true in every single case, and every case is a little bit different, but overall, you're going to have to hit most of the things they're used to seeing. Do you have chats? Do you have text? Do you have emails to each other? Do you have love notes? Do you have pictures of you with yourselves and others? Did you go on trips together? Have you made any big purchases together? Have you planned your wedding together? Are you having another wedding? All those kinds of things are the kinds of evidence that you submit at the beginning. Now, later on, if you get called in for an interview and you bring updated marital evidence, by that point, if you've been married for a year because these cases are taking so long, you should have a lot more evidence. It shouldn't be the same old evidence you submitted last time. It should be a whole lot more. And then, of course, later on, if you get your green card and you have to file for the I-751 petition for removal of conditions to demonstrate you're still married after you got your 2-year green card, then you're going to have to submit even more evidence. So there's sort of a scale of what they're expecting to see at each stage. What should we see when we get married? What should we see when we come in for an interview? What should we see at the I-751 level? So these are the kinds of things that we look at. We love helping people put their cases together. A lot of people aren't very creative, and we have seen so many strong cases filed, and we have filed so many strong cases of our own. We've had clients who are very creative in how they demonstrate that shared life together. But those are the basics. Those are the things that you almost have to submit. Now listen, USCIS usually sends a request for evidence if they feel like you haven't submitted enough evidence. But in a small percentage of cases, I'd say 10 to 20%, Now they just flat out deny it if they think you haven't submitted enough evidence. So this is really important stuff. You could waste the $535 or the $1,225 or whatever the filing fees are for the I-130 and the I-45. And more importantly, you could have to start all over, right? And so that's a real bummer. So people all the time think, well, the only bad thing that's going to happen is that I get denied. Well, not necessarily so. I mean, not only could you get delayed or denied, you could also get sort of a black mark, and they said, well, you filed once before and we weren't convinced, so now you're coming back to us. So then you're sort of at a higher standard. So these are the kinds of things that I think about. These are the kinds of things we talk about here at Hacking Immigration Law when we're working with clients to file the strongest case possible. If you would like our help, if you're thinking about hiring us, if you'd like to work together on your spouse or your fiance case, give us a call, 314-961-8200, or email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. That is for people who want to hire us. If you're just looking for free information, we provide as much as we can. We have tons of information on our website, which you can visit at www.hackingimmigrationlaw.com or hackinglaw.com. Both will work. And also, we have our Immigrant Home Facebook group. There are about 11,000 immigrants and people who love immigrants in that group, talking about the immigration process, exchanging information, talking about how embassies are doing, or service centers are, or field offices have been. Those are all the kinds of things that people talk about in Immigrant Home. And also, if you're in Immigrant Home, you'll be alerted whenever we go live on the Immigration Answer Show. That's a show that I do for a couple hours a week, 3 or 4 times a week. I do it for an hour each time, and I answer as many immigration law related questions as I can in that hour. We'd love to have you join us there, or you should subscribe to the YouTube channel, because the show posts in Immigrant Home and in the YouTube channel. You should subscribe to that channel. That way you'll get alerted when I go live, and you'll also find out whenever we're posting a new video just like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.